You ready to start the video? You gotta look over here at the camera. Look. Hello, hello! My name is Jasmine, and I've been living in Poland since fall of 2020. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you about my experience living abroad for a year, showing some clips from over the year, and going pretty in depth about my whole experience. We'll be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you're interested in learning what it's like living abroad, stick around. So before my family moved to Poland, we lived in the United States. I lived in Georgia, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and most recently Virginia. Before our move, I lived in the States my entire life up until I was 16. My mom's side of the family is Polish and German though, so occasionally throughout the years leading up to our move, every couple of years we would go on vacation to Europe to visit family. So going into our move, I was very familiar with the culture, scenery, and main aspects of the country that I was moving to, but I was by no means any expert or anything. At that time, I was very much accustomed to the American culture and not the Polish culture. We moved to Poland August of 2020. I won't go into too much depth about the move itself because I have lots of videos that I made during the move. You can check them out right here, or you can stick around to the end of the video and I will have the playlist of all those videos in order linked. As you can imagine, it was a huge move for me. I had moved many times before when I was younger, but Virginia was the state that I had lived in the longest, 9 years, and I had also never moved to a different country before. So moving to a different country was very difficult for me because I was leaving my home, my friends, and everything that I was comfortable with and used to. One of the main factors of living abroad is that most countries outside of your own will speak a completely different language. In Poland, English is taught in schools, but many people, especially older folks, don't speak English. I barely speak any Polish, like just a few words, so there's a huge language barrier when I'm trying to communicate with people. One of the things that's most helpful in understanding someone is actually nonverbal cues. When we're speaking with people who speak the same language as us, it's easy to not notice or pay attention to all of the nonverbal cues that are being thrown around in the conversation. Living abroad has taught me just how much we actually use them, and it's been such an experience trying to decipher what people are saying with only their body language and nonverbal cues. My schooling abroad has been completely online, so I haven't had to worry about adjusting to a public school or language barriers in school. I was previously homeschooled, so it was a bit of a shift from everything in physical book form to doing everything online. But besides a few Wi-Fi problems, it wasn't too bad. If you're interested in my online school, LUA, Liberty University Online Academy, I've made a few videos on that too, and I can link them right here as well. Also probably gonna make an updated senior video, so you can look forward to that in the future. The whole online school after our move was planned way in advance before we ever moved. I think we were talking about it like the end of 2019. So even though COVID had a big major impact on our move and delayed a lot of things, luckily schooling was not a problem. Living abroad has opened up so many opportunities for me that I wouldn't have had living in the States, such as teaching knitting in English to some young Polish kids, or discussing my experience living in the States with people who have never been there before. I've been able to meet new people, go to new places, and just experience things that I wouldn't have been able to staying in the same place. And the coolest part is that I get to share them all with you. There are many cultural differences between America and Poland. I'll be talking about Virginia specifically since there's some cultural differences within the states as well. A few of them include mannerisms and how people talk to each other. Oftentimes in Virginia, people are super nice and talkative, and if you happen to compliment like a stranger in the grocery store on something, they'll smile and say thank you. In Poland, even though the people are super nice, they often come across as cold in the beginning, and if you're out in public, very rarely will you get complimented by a stranger. If you get complimented by a stranger in Poland, they must really like your outfit or whatever they're complimenting. Polish people often like to keep to themselves, so they won't start up conversations with strangers or anything like that. They also don't like to sugarcoat things. In Virginia, and most places in America, if your friend asks you how you like their outfit, whether you like it or not, you're gonna tell them that it looks great on them. Unless you're like really close friends. But oftentimes, Americans will sugarcoat it. Whether it's true or not, they'll say it looks good on you. But in Poland, they don't like to sugarcoat. They don't like to lie. If you have a bad outfit on, they're gonna tell you. They're not trying to hurt people's feelings or anything like that. Their culture just tends to be very straightforward, get to the point, and very honest. If you vacation to a different country, you can often pick up on a lot of the cultural differences like that, but vacationing and living in a different country for a whole year are two very different things. When you live abroad for a year, you really get to see all the little pieces of culture that you really wouldn't be able to see with just a short trip or vacation. I've learned a lot of things from living abroad for a year. I've learned the Polish way of life and how it differs from Americans. I've learned how people here talk, act, and dress in all the different seasons, and even based on their age. I've learned to live outside of my comfort zone and making a new normal outside of everything I've known before. I've learned how to keep in touch with friends that are thousands of miles away, and make new friends in a different country with a different culture. I've also learned all the best places to eat in the area and all the good malls. And I've also learned that when you go to somebody's house, even just to drop something off, you better be prepared to stay, because they are going to have tea and coffee ready, and they are going to insist that you stay and drink some of that. And they might even have lunch or dinner, some kind of food ready for you too. Living abroad has given me the opportunity to travel to so many places that I just wouldn't have been able to living in the States. When you live abroad for a year, it gives you the opportunity to go to way more different cities than you would have been able to in just a short trip. I've been able to go to huge cities like the capital, Warsaw, Wrocław, Łódź, Gdańsk, Zielona Góra, and Poznań, as well as smaller country towns like the one that I live in or the ones that surround my town. I've been able to see cool landmarks like the dragon statue in Krakow, castles and huge rivers and mountains, and I had the opportunity to go visit Auschwitz, which was a whole experience in itself. I never would have been able to go to all of these places or have all of these experiences with just a simple vacation. Living abroad for a year has let me see the country in every light possible. When you visit a country on vacation, you only get to experience it for a short amount of time, and you only know what it's like during that particular time and season. When you live in a country for a year or more, you get to experience it in every season and you know what it's like. I know what Poland is like in the winter, freezing and snowy. In the spring, still very cold compared to Virginia springs. In the summer, it can be hot sometimes, but still mostly cool and breezy. And in the fall, sometimes cold, sometimes warm, The trees have very, very intense colors and it's gorgeous. I know how the weather patterns normally are depending on the time of year, and I've experienced all the holidays and season-specific events. Some of my favorite things about living in Europe is being able to travel to different countries, having lots of different foods available to me, like ponchki, borscht, kielbasa, gofre. Yummy, yummy European ice cream. And doner kebabs. I also really love the scenery of Poland, the mountains, rivers, hiking trails, fields, and waterfalls. It's really a beautiful country. Even the cities are beautiful with their old architecture. I also love how easy it is to get around. There's sidewalks everywhere. In every town you can walk and bike places. There's trains and buses that are easy to access. And lastly, I love all the friends that I've made here. Just as I have a lot of things that I like and love about living abroad, and specifically in Poland, there are many things that I don't like. I don't like being miles away from my friends and not being able to just go hang out with them. I don't like the Polish winters. Sure, they're beautiful, like beautiful with the snow, but they're just so cold. Also, in almost every town outside of like bigger cities, Polish houses use coal to heat the house. And usually at nighttime, but it can be throughout the day, there is so much coal smoke in the air that you can see it. It smells disgusting and it's bad for your health, and I really hate that. And lastly, I don't like that many of my favorite foods, stores, and products aren't available here, like Target and Chick-fil-A. So that's it, you guys. I hope this was enlightening and that you learned something. If you take anything out of this video, please get out of your comfort zone and move to a different country. It doesn't have to be forever, but it's going to be an experience like no other. It'll be scary at first, but I promise you will learn so much. You're going to have so many amazing experiences, and you'll come out of it with a whole new perspective on life. If you ever get the chance to do a study abroad program for a year, or just move somewhere, a different country in general, it's an opportunity that you don't want to miss. I highly recommend. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you learned anything new or interesting, comment that down below. And consider subscribing for more content like this. Also other lifestyle videos and a few creative ones thrown in there as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Follow me on Instagram at JasmineTheWaffle, right here. Don't forget to love yourself, love others, and above all, love God. Bye guys. Girl. Good girl. She's a good girl. Ow. Stella, no. Come here. Stella. Come on. There you go. Come on. Cheesy. Is that cheesy? Oh well. I've learned a lot from living abroad. Nope, that's not what I was supposed to say. Yeah. Cat here. Huh. When you go on vacation to stay somewhere for a short amount of time. Stella. Good girl. Well, I can't talk if you're standing in my way. Or do that.